If you've ever wanted to make something from scratch that feels like a hug in a jar, this is it. Today I'm making a small batch of fresh strawberry jam. No water bath, no big prep day, just a quiet moment in the kitchen and a jar of something made with care. I'm Josh, and this is my pioneering life where we blend old traditions with modern meaning. And stick with me because the last thing I tell you today might change the way you think about jam forever. Start by adding your strawberries to a bowl, sprinkle over your sugar and lemon juice, then mash everything together. No need to make it perfect. I like a little texture. Bring it to a simmer and let it cool for 15 to 20 minutes. Stir it often, it'll thicken just enough and set up more as it cools. One thing I really like to do with this particular batch is I just threw the lemon peel in with the rest of the strawberry jam and let that cook down as well, releasing some of those lemon oils directly into that jam and just making it a little bit extra special. Growing up, I always knew my mom made jam, and so there was no real mystery about where it came from. When we were living in California, and I'm less than 7 years old or so, she's making Concord grape jelly, and she's got that pot going, and it's boiling, and it's bubbling, and it looks like something out of Macbeth. Macbeth with the witches, right? Yeah, I think I don't know, but she's got that pot going like hard. And my brother starts screaming like a banshee. And she just runs right out the door just as fast as can be, just chasing him down. She finds him out in the backyard, sitting down on the ground. No scratches, no bumps, no bruises, no nothing. He's fine. But he is convinced that there are aliens in the trees and they're there because they are going to eat all of our dirt. My brother's ridiculous. I love him. But he was convinced that was happening. And well, when my mom went back inside after this whole fiasco with the dirt and the aliens that weren't really a big deal to her, she found that the whole kitchen had basically exploded into purple Concord grape jelly covered madness. The spoon that she was using to make the jelly with, that she'd left sitting like this, when she ran, she knocked it over and it went flying everywhere. Jelly went exploding everywhere. It's boiling and it's exploding, and it's a jamboree is what it is. It's a freaking jamboree. Once it's done, pour it into a clean jar. Let it cool and store it in the fridge. It'll last for about a week, but, well, honestly, it never lasts that long. The berries have just a little bit of texture to them, which is really wonderful. There's nothing like homemade strawberry jam. Even Jerome Monroe Smucker, which is a mouthful in and of itself, started small, selling apple butter from his family's recipe in 1897 in Oroville, Ohio. But today we're keeping it personal and simple. All right, before we move on, there's one more thing that I really like to do. Instead of tossing out the strawberry tops, I dehydrate them and save them for tea. It's light, a little fruity, and especially good blended with mint or lemon balm. It's just another small way to carry the flavor and the feeling into another moment. Keep watching. This next part sets up the payoff coming at the end. These oat bars are buttery and crumbly and taste like something your mom might have packed in your lunch for a field trip, the kind of recipe that smells like love. It's sweet, it's familiar, and it's a little messy in the very best way. All right. So it should taste better tomorrow, but I'm going to try it now because I can't wait. All right, because I'm not a heathen, I decided to only take a small piece out. So we're gonna wait for tomorrow to eat the most of it. But I had to try it. I couldn't wait. I mean, can you blame me? Look at this. This is delicious looking. So, and we already know that the jam is fantastic. And the base has got to be delicious. I mean, it's all things that are good in life. So, I cut the sugar in half for the recipe. It originally was a half a cup of brown sugar. I put in only a quarter of a cup instead. So, I have a feeling this is going to be very nice. Chin chin. Baby, come try this.
Mmm. That's really good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm saving my favorite tip for last, and this is one that I use personally all the time. I take a spoonful of the strawberry jam, I mix in a splash of balsamic vinegar, I crack in a little black pepper, and then right at the end, right before it's ready to be poured over the pork chops, I'll add just a handful of chopped up basil leaves, and then just let that glaze over the pork chops. Wonderful. And you can do that with any jam or herb combination that you can think of, really. Like apricot and rosemary are fantastic for a pork loin. It's one of my favorite things to do from when I was a kid. That basil brings brightness. It balances the sweetness and makes the dish feel like something truly special without needing a dozen ingredients. This is one of those meals that feels like a holiday, but only takes 20 minutes and one skillet. All right, so this is that pork chop with the strawberry basil reduction. Mm-hmm. That is bright and airy, and just feels like an early summer morning. It's freaking wonderful. Yes, passes the test. This batch clearly wasn't made to be stored away for winter. It was made to be shared while it was still warm. A little act of care, a little tradition passed down. If this video stirred up a memory or inspired you to make something simple and sweet, let me know in the comments. And if you're making any of these recipes, I'd love to hear how you're passing tradition down in your family. Now that you made something sweet, let's lean into something rich and savory. I will show you how to make garlic confit, another small tradition that brings big flavor. Click here and I'll show you how to make it, store it, and use it on just about everything. I'm Josh and this is My Pioneering Life. Thanks for being part of it.